everybody. Ale, tail, mail. Ale first. New one for me. I've seen it around a few times, and I think I might have had one or two other from this company. Sierra Nevada Torpedo. So, the Bantam. Get it open. Now I'm not sure if this will all fit in here. It's a 355 millilitre bottle, which seems a bit of an odd size, but it's looking promising. There we go. So, Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA, 7.2%. Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina. And I think it's bottle conditioned. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's hazy. Ugh. Damn. This American craft beer is a living product, best stored cold and enjoyed when fresh. Now apparently it's perfectly balanced yet full of flavour and aromas that highlight the complex citrus, pine and herbal character of whole cone American hops. So, that is definitely hoppy. It's a bit fruity, a bit citrusy. That's nice, that. But you would have to like quite a bit of hoppy beer. Plenty of flavour. That's nice. So, a tail. Some of you may be aware, since being ill a while ago, I'm sort of mobility impaired, so I get a taxi to work. And I was in the taxi to work the other morning, Wednesday I think it was, when a bizarre conversation happened to me. And I say the conversation happened to me, that'll become clear. So I get me taxis as normal, and sometimes the drivers want to have a chat and sometimes they just want to drive. It's fair enough. And as soon as I got in, it was clear that that day's driver was a talker. And I wasn't feeling particularly talkative on that morning. His opening conversational gambit was to ask me what I think about the immigration situation. Not feeling like having much of a conversation, I just said something non-committal like, to be honest, I don't think we're doing enough. And then he went off on one about immigrants. And it seemed a bit odd. Because from his accent, this fellow wasn't from round here. As it turned out, he was Polish. And I was just mulling over how odd it was, sitting there listening to this Polish fella banging on about immigration, when it became clear what his real problem was. What his real concern was, is the influx of Muslims into Europe. And he started ranting on about Muslims. And made a big song and dance about how Barack Obama's middle name is Hussein. That apparently is a bad sign. So I'm sat there, it's early morning, I'm on my way to work, and I've got this Polish fella banging on in my ear about how Muslims are taking over Europe. Well, he didn't really stop for breath, and I didn't get a chance to point out to him that large parts of Europe used to be Muslim anyway. But anyway, I'm debating whether or not to get involved in this conversation and tell him a thing or two and put him right, when it then became very clear that there's not going to be any point in doing that. You see these conversations on the internet and flame wars and comment boards and forums, and there's a couple of key signifiers. And he got the first one in straight away. He said, "I'm not a racist, but..." And then went on to demonstrate that he really was quite racist indeed. And I'm gobsmacked by this point, completely befuddled. And he carries on about how the President of the United States has got too much power for one person, which may be true. And how having leaders with that much power isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if they're bad people, it's a very bad thing, which is fair enough. But then he dropped the next one. He spent a few sentences comparing Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler, and then he dropped it. He said Hitler had some good ideas. And at that point, you know that you're trapped in the car with a complete raving fucking lunatic. He went on to explain himself by saying that Hitler didn't want to kill the Jews. He wanted to send them to Madagascar. But that was too expensive. So he built the concentration camps instead. And I'm thinking, he built most of them in Poland, where you come from, you fucking idiot! At which point, it was time for me to get out of the taxi. And on balance, I think I made a wise decision not to get involved in that particular conversation. It left me feeling, for the rest of the day, like I probably had a narrow escape from a serial killer. So, cheers. Mail. I got a delivery Thursday, yesterday, and I'm going to do a sneaky peek unboxing for you. Well, it's a sneaky peek. See what you think. Okay, so here's the packet, and we've got Spyderco Roadie. Not going to mess about, just going to get straight in. As I say, this is going to be a sneaky peek video, so I won't be getting into any specs or a review. We'll just see what my first impressions are. So, are we in focus? Think so. Rough Rider. Oh. 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 What do you think of that then? Big Daddy Barlow, according to Heine Haynes. According to Rough Rider, it's the RR1035. A large single blade Barlow knife. Fit and finish. Not sparkling on first impressions, but then for the price of the knife, not necessarily a concern. Another bone-handled knife for my collection. So, I'll do a full review in the fullness of time, but I thought you might just want to see what arrived in the post for me last night. See if we can move that light off a bit. Is that better? Or is that better? Yeah, Rough Rider Big Daddy Barlow with a white smooth bone handle. So there, my first impressions, I was thinking it's probably, the quality issues aren't maybe that bad. But then on reflection, I'm now thinking I probably will send this one back. And if I do, I'll let you know how I get on. So thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.